The time has come. I'm taking an at-home test because just in case my test doesn't arrive, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Lake card. It is blue. Open card. I had to do this for my mom already, so I've done it before. Make sure control is blue. It is. Open card. Don't touch. 6 drops. Into the baby hole. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Open. Swab. This side. Can we open the swab? Yes, we can. Oh, guys. Okay. The horribleness is going to happen now. It's going in. Okay, 5 big circles. Oh boy. Good Lord. Up the other one. Okay. Ugh. The horribleness is over. Okay, then you gotta stick it through the big hole into the little hole. That is how it works. Okay. In and turn it right. 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then you shut this thing. And the magic should do its thing. And then you do not touch it for 15 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, so you see the pink line. It's like when you take a pregnancy test. It goes all the way and turns pink. And we'll see. Now, do I believe this will be 100% accurate at this point? No. But it does come with 2 tests for that very purpose, because these at-home tests are very sensitive if you are positive, but also very likely to give you a false negative if you're very early in your infection. Hoping for a true negative, but we'll see. Okay, so my control line has appeared. If a second line appears, it's a positive. But like I said, these are very sensitive. So you have a high chance of getting a true positive if you're positive, but a high chance of getting a false negative if you're too early in your infection. That's just how these tests work because of the sensitivity level. That's why PCRs are the best test. But my PCR is somewhere traveling and hasn't even reached the lab yet after 2 days. So that's why we're doing this, just to be giving me a little peace of mind. So it does bring a second test. That's why a second test 3 days later is done, just in case you're in that point of infection where it's too early. We'll see. Okay, so far I'm pretty sure this test is a negative, so my next test will be in 36 hours. I need to double check with a very sharp light, because as this shows you, this is a test that is positive. You can barely even see it on camera, but the line is so faint that they tell you that anything, even the ghost of a line, could be it. So I'm going to shine a light on it just in case, but I'm pretty sure that's a negative test so far. And I realized I was just talking to myself. Anyhow, so far it is negative. I'll do the next test in 3 days, and I'm hoping that between now and then my PCR test results arrive. I took it on Friday. It's now Sunday. Hasn't even reached the lab yet. With Labor Day tomorrow, I get a feeling that I will not have a result until maybe Wednesday, because I kind of have a hunch that they're not going to be working on Labor Day. It's bad timing all around. So between now and then, I'll probably end up taking the second one of these anyhow. Yeah, so gonna see. I have been told to quarantine by my job. I do have a scratchy throat. It feels like here has been a little swollen ever since Thursday, which is why I got tested on Friday. And I don't want to just pass it off as though I've been talking too much or I have, I don't know, got allergies. Because I also have a little bit of a runny nose and a little bit of a, like a very mild cough. So much of it looks like what my normal life looks like, and that is the problem. When you already have chronic illness, it's really hard to tell what is not your chronic illness. So that's why I'm so anxious about this whole mess. But I'm really hoping that this is a true negative and not a false negative. Laundry day. I think you guys are falling over. There we go. So time to fold. Lots of clothes. Because if I do get sick, I don't want to deal with the mess of clothes that hasn't been washed in 2 weeks. I was busy. So rather than writing, which was my plan for today, actually it was my plan for yesterday, but let's not talk about yesterday. I'm catching up on housework because who else is going to do it if not I? That is what happens when you live alone. It's lovely living alone, but also means you're responsible for taking care of all the things, even when you don't want to and you just want to work on other stuff. I want to take a nap, let's be perfectly honest, because I did not get much sleep last night, just worrying about where the heck my test is and obsessively checking the testing center website to see if it had arrived and all that mess. Anxiety to the extreme. Anyhow, I'm gonna get through this and I have one more load to pick up, which are the sheets. Those are drying at my boyfriend's house because that's where I do my laundry. I do not have a laundry machine. I live in an old apartment and the amenities are pretty basic, as in non-existent. So that's life. That's what I do. I just drive back and forth in order to avoid the laundromat. And I have for the last year and a half. I really wish I could go to the laundromat, but that's not a space I want to go to. Our laundromat is in an area where a lot of tourists frequent because we have a lot of hotels, among other things, here. I really don't feel safe being exposed to people traveling. Not that my level of safety is great right now. It is Florida. It's a hot mess. But what are you gonna do? I am almost done with putting stuff back. I am now doing the bed and drinking a decaf latte that I bought yesterday at the Korean market. It's really good. I took some lactase because lactose, but it's actually quite tasty, and I still have so much to do and I don't think everything's gonna get done today, but we'll try. Finally, the bed is made. I feel like I should explain. I've explained before, but I have this many pillows because of the migraines. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm gonna need to do to my neck. So this is the Chobani Oat Milk Pumpkin Spice Creamer. It's okay, but it's not great. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It has a weird aftertaste. It's the second time I try it. I thought maybe the first time I just was having it with coffee that wouldn't taste great, but it doesn't taste that good. I've been lured again by bad pumpkin spice. It's fine, but like, it's weird. It's got a medicinal taste. I don't really like it, but I'm gonna have to drink this whole bottle now because I'm committed. It'll be a challenge because not great. Maybe at least half the bottle so I don't feel like I wasted money. I have some milk bread from the Korean market that I went to this weekend. It is now Monday. It is Labor Day. I'm planning to stay home and finally start working on writing stuff. I'm still waiting on my test results. They are finally being tested. They reached the lab yesterday afternoon, and now it says that testing started around like 9:52 p.m. last night. But with it being Labor Day, I don't know if they're continuing and will report or what. I don't know if I should get another test because it was too early. I don't know. There's just so many questions. It's so uncertain. I just don't want to risk going into the office if I get a false negative because it was too early and making someone else sick. Like, we've already had 2 sick people. I don't really want to be Typhoid Mary getting people sick. It's so uncertain lately. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. I just don't know anymore. Like, I'm not even at this point thinking about not getting sick. I'm just thinking, like, what do I do when I finally do get sick? Because I'm taking every precaution I can. I'm vaccinated. I wear my mask. I have an air filter in my office. I don't go into risky spaces. I don't eat indoors anymore. I ate indoors for like one glorious month, and only when it was very empty. But I only go indoors to like pick up stuff if there's not a crowd, and then I leave. I eat outside or in my car. So I'm taking every precaution I can because there is just so much infection where I am. But I have a job and I have to go in at least a few times a week. At this point, I'm going in 3 times a week. So it's a risk. I'm just grateful that my mom and my grandma got through it okay. I'm worried about my dad. He has to get his 3rd shot because he does have cancer and he is getting cancer treatment. So he needs to get his 3rd shot. He's already looking into it. My throat is still itchy. I really just hope it's something I ate, allergies, or all the dairy I was eating over the last few days might have done something. I don't know. It's easy to rationalize. Everyone I know who's had it has tried to rationalize it before getting a positive test. So I don't want to, be negative, but I also don't want to be stupid. So I'm a pessimist, if you can't tell. I wouldn't say I'm a pessimist. I am a extremely aware realist. That sounds better. Let's call it that. I'm gonna eat my bread. I read my book. I had to stop reading this while my mom was sick because I just couldn't handle reading a book about a mother dying and having my mom being sick. So I had to take those few weeks off. But now I'm back to it because it is overdue and I need to finish it. I've only got like 2 chapters left. It's really good, but I could not handle a book that was already heart-wrenching at a time when my own mom was sick. So that's that. So I just got my test results and it came back negative for this test. I am debating getting a second test just on the off chance that I was too early into a potential infection. The CDC does recommend 3 to 5 days after known exposure for vaccinated folks to test. But it took my mom like a solid week to have any symptoms when she was exposed. And that was after knowing that the person tested positive, which means she technically probably was exposed earlier, just hadn't known. So things to think about. I may try to get another test tomorrow. Today is Labor Day, so the testing sites are closed. Nobody's testing right now. I might try tomorrow. My hair looks a hot mess. I haven't brushed it. It's all my little baby hair is just sticking up. That's neither here nor there. So I will debate that. I will see. I might just go tomorrow just to be extra safe, because after 2 people potentially, you know, like getting other people in my department sick, I don't want to be the 3rd person. I don't want to like be flippant about it and just be like, I'm fine, and go and do it. So I don't know, things to think about. What I'm feeling may just be allergies, which is what I had been hoping for all along, but I'm not willing to just like be like, whatever, it's allergies. So we'll see. I don't know. There's so much to think about. This is so, everything's just so uncertain. So that's what's going through my head. I made the very poor decision to go for a walk without an umbrella, and I am thoroughly soaked. I'm wet. I'm wet and soggy, and I need to dry off. Good morning. It is Thursday. It's now like 9 a.m., so it's nice and bright and sunny. I am taking the day off. I had worked, it's not overtime, it's a long story, but I had worked a weekend, and I'm working another weekend, and I haven't taken any time for those weekends, so I'm just combining them today, taking the day off. I'm gonna write. I am going to catch up on paid writing that I have to finish, and I am going to basically start running through the final round of edits before I submit or start querying. At this point, I think I've reached the point where it's as good as it's gonna get, so fingers crossed. I feel good about this book. It's more marketable. It's a genre that is evergreen and popular. The last book I queried is in a much harder to sell genre, and I also feel like I need to rewrite that book. Like, I wasn't there yet for that book, and I get that, so I need to rewrite that book. But this is like a book that has come so easily and feels like such a passion project, and I really feel good about it, so I'm trying not to jinx that. But so today, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get started. Maybe I'll record it, maybe I won't, I don't know. I have been dragging my feet on this part of the edit just because I haven't been in the right headspace. I really wish I could go to a cafe and sit down and just write, because this is what I would do at this stage in writing. It's the part where I need to find a different place, but that's not gonna happen. I just have to deal with it, and I'm gonna try to focus, which has been hard for the last couple of weeks while I wait for results and all this mess. I did get tested. I don't remember if I mentioned that, so I'm still waiting on those results. But you know, dealing with my family having COVID, and then COVID in my office, and another COVID case in my office, and wondering if I may be harboring an asymptomatic case, like all that has basically put me in a mindset where I can't focus. So it feels like an excuse, but also I would sit down, I would tell myself I would write these notes, and the minute I would try to start working, it just wasn't happening. So I had to accept that I was just not in the right frame of mind for this level of editing. It's very detailed work at this point. It's very small detail. So I just need to be able to focus consistently for a few hours, and that's what we're gonna do today. I also have to go to the grocery store, pick up some stuff for my mom, because there were some people in the neighborhood who were very kind and very helpful, and like would deliver her food and stuff while she was sick and my grandmother was sick. So I wanted to buy some stuff for her to make a fruit basket. She wants to make a fruit basket. I'm gonna buy a little extra stuff, like maybe some nice soaps and things to add as like my contribution just to like thank these people. I get emotional about it, but yeah, I didn't think people would be so nice, so it's just a nice gesture. So I'm going to tidy up because the house is a mess, and I'm debating whether I should do the groceries first or write first, but I feel like the groceries should probably be done first while it's early and there is less traffic, because traffic is bad in this area. Making some cup noodles and an egg for lunch because I'm just in the mood for that. And I bought these rather interesting chippy things that remind me of, I think they were called Munchos chips. They taste interesting. They're very crunchy, not at all like a chip necessarily. That's how they sound. Yay, cup noodles. Getting that egg was a struggle. Yay, noodles. There's some really random girl downstairs blasting EDM in her car. And it's like, what? On a Thursday morning? It's still early. I'm just having an early lunch. Like, what are you doing? Why? Go somewhere else. Like, I don't understand why you're down there. Like, why are you outside my window with your Euro trashy EDM stuff playing? Like, I don't understand what's going on. So confused. This town is so weird. People have no self-control. Like, also, why are you blasting music that I can hear on my second-story apartment? Your ears are going to suffer. Just saying. Children, don't blast your music that high. You will go deaf. I've met many people who were like club kids in their youth in like the 70s who now have definite hearing loss issues. One lady who I used to work with like lost her hearing aid, and she rigged a telephone, not a walkie-talkie, a telephone with like some sort of headset, and I mean like an old school telephone, like it used to be a landline telephone, to somehow like amplify sounds because she couldn't like get her new hearing aid because of her insurance. It was a mess, but like she was one of those people. She was like, yeah, I was into club. And there goes my ears. Like, protect your ears, youths. Protect your ears. That is advice from your old lady friend. Elder millennials to the rescue. It's dinner time. Still Thursday. I sort of got some work done. I sort of did not get some work done. But some progress has been made. At least the first step has been taken. I have started going through the draft and identifying the first of the words. Where are the kitties from? I've started identifying the first of the words that I'm going to edit out. It's crutch words. It's like words that you overuse. So that has started. I am having some kombucha mixed with mineral water because I like to water it down a little bit. But it's good. And I made salad. I've just been in a salad mood for the last few weeks, mostly because it's still hot outside. It's getting better, but it's still hot. And two, I am lazy, and putting protein on top of a bed of salad is just the easiest thing that I can do on a day when I don't feel like doing much of anything. So today has been a very lazy day. Had the cup noodles for lunch, having giant salad with chicken cutlets for dinner. These are my lazy day meals. I'm sure that my lazy day fall meals are going to look like a whole lot of like sweet potatoes and vegetables with chicken, but I am a lazy person. I love to cook, but sometimes I just cannot be bothered, and lately I just cannot be bothered. So big ass salad it is. So for anyone who's wondering, the salad is romaine, because that's the type of lettuce that I bought the last time. I also like butter lettuce, mini cucumber, a whole one, mini sweet pepper, some tomatoes. I don't have a lot, so I just tossed in a few. Blueberries. There's also some almonds in there for some good fats. And this is a Purdue Simply Smart cutlet. I added 2 because I am a little hungry, and because it's mostly just lettuce underneath, I wanted that extra protein. And I think 365 Italian dressing, that's the one. So that's what goes into my salad. Sometimes I add some other bits, but this is pretty standard. I've brought out the fall mug. I'm very excited. Is it cool yet? No. Is it really fall weather where I live? No. Does it ever really become fall here? Rarely. But does it put me in the mood? Yes, because I'm that basic fall bitch, my friends. I am that girl. And I've been in the mood to have coffee after dinner lately. It's decaf because I've been cutting back on caffeine, but this makes me happy. I bought it last year. It was one of my pandemic splurges. It has my name on it, but it's very, like, it's a little dark. I feel like the name should have been a different color, but I'm excited. I have never made a custom mug before, and this was my first. And the other side says, let me flip it carefully so I don't burn myself. There you go. The glorious fall mugware is out. I have 2 seasonal mugs and that is it. That is all I have. And I love it. So I'm going to do some writing now for just a little bit before I take my evening walk. I will have to change into something more sporty because it's not actually fall weather. I gotta change into something cooler. But that is the plan for tonight. Should be able to get at least 20 minutes of writing done. So fingers crossed this goes along. I had 40 instances of the first word that I am revising out. Not every instance, but like unnecessary instances of it. And I only got through 5 in 50 minutes. So we'll see how long this takes. Hey guys, it's Saturday and I think I didn't mention it, but I finally got my COVID results and it was negative, so I'm happy. I did, however, get my flu vaccine today because I was waiting just to make sure that I didn't have anything, because if I did, I didn't want to like double whammy my body. So just given the fact that I had some level of certainty, you know, like obviously I have like, God, I have like a little cat hair or something. I have obviously like not been isolated in my home 100%. I do always wear my mask when I go out regardless, but like, you know, even while waiting, like I had to do groceries and stuff, so there's always an off chance that something might have happened, but I try to minimize my risk as much as possible, so fairly certain that I don't have anything. So I was like, I'll literally take the shot, like I'll just go and get it done, because I have had 2 flus in my lifetime and never want to have it again, so I don't want to risk, you know, whatever is going to happen this year for flu season. So go and get your flu shots, get your COVID shots, do all your stuff. If you have opinions on that, you can keep them to yourself, because I'm not here to deal with it. So just saying, not here for it. So yeah, I have had a good week. I've been writing and going through. I am on my 2nd word. Yay. 2nd word of the search. So I finished the search for the first word that I was like culling out of the draft, the first crutch word that I was going through. It was a word that was pointed out by my beta. I don't think it was such a drastic use, but I was like, yeah, a lot of these can be cut. Like I can find better words for it, so it's fine. I did become hyper aware recently. I won't name the author, but it's a romance writer that is very popular, and I love her books, so you know, like she's one of my favorites. But I realized that she uses a particular word a lot, like a lot. Like even on a page it might be used 2 or 3 times, and I was like, is this something she does on purpose, or is this like her crutch word? Is this just the word she puts in and it's become such a thing for her, like it's such a representative word for her? I don't know, like it's the word she likes to use to describe a lot of things. Like sometimes she'll use it to describe like a body type and an action, an emotion, a response. So it gets bandied about a lot in her books, and because I've been reading several of her books like back to back in the last couple of weeks, I've become very hyper aware of it. So I was like, I do this too. I know I do, but I don't know that I do it to that extent. Like I try to be very conscious of like not repeating words a lot on like a page or even a scene or a chapter. We all have our flaws, and that is one that I am hyper aware of now. So I know I'll find something in mine. Like I know that I use certain words, certain like descriptors of body actions a lot because it's a phrase that I like. So I have to find other ways to describe that thing. But also like this is my thing as an English major, as a person with a master's in literature, as someone who used to tutor writing, teach writing. You don't want to become caught up with a thesaurus and constantly replacing words for other words, because then it just becomes kind of weird and obvious, because the best word is the most natural word for you. So I also don't want to become so hyper consumed with replacing every single instance of a particular word, because if that is the word that most fits, then that is the word that belongs there. Now, can I change words? Can I maybe be more detailed? Yes. So that's a different matter. But like becoming hyper obsessive over like the use of a word, sometimes that's the right word. So there's no need to obsess and constantly turn to a thesaurus. And that applies in anything. Like if you're a college student and you're writing your college papers, like don't worry, don't turn to a thesaurus. The most natural fitting word is the word that belongs there. That's just good standard advice. It's that whole like keep it simple advice when you're writing. You don't want to turn to a thesaurus and find a word that sounds smart but makes you seem inexperienced because it's not the word that fits that context. So just a little piece of advice. I'm full of advice this time. So I am going to end the vlog here. I don't really plan on doing anything else exciting beyond writing this weekend. I have weekend work tomorrow. So I'm going to try to edit this and put it out this week. I'm trying to stick back to a schedule, and I think Wednesdays have become a good day because it gives me that little buffer for editing. So no promises, but I think Wednesdays might be the new day for vlogs for me. And, you know, random chatty vlogs lately. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great one. Bye.